Take a seat and welcome to the Sit Down.
In Lubbock. Welcome to the Sit Down.
Thank you. Thank you.
As a UND guy, everybody knows I'm a UND guy. And I've had two UND guests on. My coach, Coach Bubba Schweigert, and then my guy, one of my best friends, Noah Wanzik. And I'm thinking 2020, you wouldn't have ever played against Noah Wanzik, but he was a wide receiver and stuff. And I got thinking, I'm like, we got a lot of upper Midwest listeners that are UND fans, but the Bison aren't so bad,
Right on. I can't believe
Don't
you said that.
don't clip that. Don't clip that, please. But I thought to myself, man, we got to get a Bison stud legend. And when we were putting our dream guest list together, Cole came up, and we're honored to be in Lubbock today. We just got a tour facility, and this place is incredible. But Cole. Now, you're going to have to tell me the last name. Wisniewski.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, so I can be Hunter Pink. Hunter Pink. You've probably got your last name messed up a ton growing up.
I don't even really correct people at this point.
We just call you Wiz.
Just Wiz.
Wiz works?
Yeah.
But we're going to dig into a little bit of Cole's story, man. He's just asking me off air, like, man, what do we want this to be today? And I was telling him, we look for overcomers. And when overcomers also happen to be really good football players that are from the upper Midwest, that love the Lord, it's a plus. So in the back, we got, of course, Anna. Yes, she is the magician. I told Cole, if you need a visual put up, snap, say Anna, put it in here, and it just shows up. It's magic. So she's the magic worker. Of course, we got the grunt work, the guy that does all the behind the scenes stuff with Garrett. And then we are joined also by Cole's lovely wife, Keely. And we'll definitely get all you guys some questions and some answers, because Cole, you're a team. You're not just by yourself down here.
Yes, sir.
You brought your wife.
Yes, sir.
You didn't want to come to Lubbock by yourself.
No, I mean, wherever we were gonna go, like, we were gonna be there together.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. Had no intention of going anywhere even a week without Keely being with. So it's been fun. Like, this whole transition. This was Keely's moving out of home.
Yeah.
She's from Fargo. So this was her moving away to college.
Yep.
Without having to go to college. So
love it.
But it was a fun transition. Probably a little bit lonely. Keely didn't have a whole team down here at first for her, but it's been fun to get plugged into community, make Keely get out of her shell a little bit.
That's good.
But the coaches here do a great job, like, connecting too. Like, on our visit, like, he told us right away that, like, the wives will be together, and luckily, like, it has sub BYU standards, but we have like 6 guys on the team married now, which
That's
is
a lot.
Absurd.
Yeah.
Like, almost BYU numbers.
Right.
For guys married. So it's been fun. Like, Keely gets to hang out with them. Especially, I think probably during the season has been a little bit better. Getting to hang out, but yeah, it's been fun. Cool,
man. I do want to start here at Tech, and then we can get back a little bit into what you were doing before you got here. But man, let's just roll some of this B-roll footage of the tour facility that we just got. And you're used to it because you spend almost every day here. But this place is incredible. Like, you walk in and it just feels different. Mm-hmm. From the weight room. You said your favorite room was the training room?
Yes.
I said that's an old man thing for you to say.
That is.
I got to get my body right. My knees are starting. I always joke, and Cole, you're going to learn this about me. All wheelchair jokes are open, by the way.
Sounds good.
So, but I always say, like, my favorite thing about being in a wheelchair is that I don't have to feel my knees anymore. Right. Because, like, dude, as a 5th-year senior, like, my knees hurt. And so that is one thing, a positive, not being able to feel my knees.
There you go.
But like, the indoor and the stadium, dude, when you first came here on your visit, what was, like, the initial reaction? Now, you came from a place with nice facilities.
Right.
NDSU. For those that don't know, Cole had 4 years at NDSU. Is that correct? You played 5 at NDSU, but 1 you were hurt, right? Yeah. So you had the medical. So he was at NDSU for a long time, and then you come down here. What blew you away? What made you decide Tech was the right place?
There was so many factors. This was my first visit, and I knew coming into it that I guess I didn't realize how good the facilities were gonna be.
Yeah.
Like I knew the coaches. So I hopped on the phone with the coach. The coaches were who I talked to on my visits, and Coach Wood, who's our DC, had actually just got hired.
Okay.
And so I wanted to look at scheme fit and production fit within the scheme. Like that was one of the first things I looked at, and kind of who are the guys that he's helped develop. And so when I looked at that, like everywhere he had gone, it had gone from like the 100th ranked defense to like a top 25 defense.
Yeah.
Even at some schools at like Troy, Army, Houston, like some schools, Houston a little bit different, but like some schools that like you wouldn't really expect it to happen.
Yeah.
So I knew he was a phenomenal coach, and I kind of got on the phone with him, and just kind of talking through it because like leaving NDSU was really, really hard for me. So I kind of like had that conversation with him, like, hey, like how does that go? Like, so we kind of got like that level of like leaving something that you like put so much time into and really poured into, and I knew like the production that he had as a coach, and so coming down here, I knew what they're like trying to build too, like with the portal and who they were with that. And then I sit down at breakfast when we get down here before we even touch in the facilities. We're sitting down eating breakfast. My brother Achilles is down with us as well. We're just talking to like the guy who's giving us our tour. His name's Wes, and there's a coach sitting down with us. And we're just like chatting it up with him. Like it's like no, it's like seems like a pretty cool guy. Like very genuine. Very curious, energetic guy. I was like, wait, who is that? And they're like, oh, that's the head coach. It's like, oh shoot. And so like my brother had been talking to him for like 30 minutes. Had no idea he was a head coach. Because he was just talking like he'd like be any other guy. And so like the more and more we got to know Coach McGuire, the more we realized like who he is and who he's about. Like family is everything to him. Yeah. And so even before like seeing the facilities, like Keely's like invited to the facility whenever. Like she can come to any practice she wants. Yep. She could pull up and come to meetings if she wanted to. She doesn't, but she could like literally like free access to anywhere in this building, and like any meals that we have, like she's invited to be a part of it. And that was like one of my check marks. Like I needed to have like Keely be a part of this because like that is the most important thing outside like of everything else. Like that is what I needed to happen. And we get to this facility and we're walking around. It's like this is insane. Yeah. They were putting the final touches on the building when we were here, but like literally I described it as nice for no reason. Yeah. Like
some of the things are like, that's incredible, but is it needed? Probably not.
No. Like it's literally everything over the top. But the idea of it was, and this is Coach Joey McGuire, like his concept was like, I'm going to do everything I can so when the players are at this facility and they leave, they can be the absolute best versions of themselves possible. Yep. And it just literally everything in this building, from like the nutrition, like the food we get over at the cash,
the massage beds,
the massage beds, getting massages.
Let's throw a picture and maybe some video of the massage beds. We need to get
the water massage
beds.
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. I would hop on that before lift, get loose before lifts, like literally everything that we could want. Yeah. Like there's no excuse not to be the absolute best version of yourself possible unless you're being lazy. Yeah. And it's like that's what I wanted from this year specifically. I wanted to see how good I could get at football.
Yeah, the development aspects, and they're doing. Man, I was taking a tour of this facility, and I just got thinking back to like the great ones are so eager to gain the 1%. Like you're already a great football player. Like you wouldn't be here if you weren't already a great football player. But like, how can I get 1% better? And like, okay, I'm gonna go lay in the water bed, and so that I can have a better lift. And that lift is gonna help me be a better player on the football field, so that maybe I can make the one tackle when we need it most. And like I got thinking as we were touring this facility, Cole, like this place is trying to stretch everything about you to get as much out of it as you can, and it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they put in literally everything they could so we could be the best version of ourselves possible. Yeah. And like it makes it easy. Like yesterday was on our bye week. Yesterday was the first day that I hadn't been in the facility since probably before the season started.
Because this is your bye week.
Yeah, because this is our bye week. And we had an earlier bye week, but like I came in, did treatment and everything. But like yesterday, like intentionally, like didn't go into treatment to like get a day away. But like I didn't even need that. Like I could have came in, been fine. Like I just did some stretching at home instead. But like didn't need to. Like because coming back today, even when you're away from it for a little bit, you walk in, this place is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. We say a lot of times on this podcast, I speak on it. Man, what you get to do, where you get to do it, really, really cool. Mm-hmm. But you mentioned it like on your visit. It's not nearly as important as who you get to do it with,
Right.
and who you get to do it for.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about, Coach McGuire, and you didn't even know he was the head coach because he's just that genuine.
Right.
Like, he doesn't need to tell you that he's the head coach.
Right.
He just wants to treat you like a good human being.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Tell me a little bit about just the people aspect of tech and the people that are pouring into you, and in return who you get to pour into as well.
Yeah, for sure. So it actually worked out so perfect. On my first day down here, we were finishing the trek down from Fargo, moving down here, and I get a text, hey, we just hired the new safeties coach. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, shoot, like, this could be anyone.
Yeah,
Like, I
right.
thought Coach Wood was going to be my safeties coach. I was like, this could be anyone. And we get down here, and I get a text from Coach Green. He's my position coach now. And he's like, hey, my wife and I just got in town. Would love to take you and your family. Would love to get some lunch with you guys, or probably dinner. So we get down. We're moving everything into our apartment. We literally just chuck everything in our apartment, go get lunch with him. And we start talking to him, and this guy is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just an amazing human being. And yeah, we got lunch with Achilles and her family down here, and immediately, like, just clicking. And it's like having a guy like that. He literally pours everything he has. Like, when he came down here, he doesn't have kids yet, so like literally everything he does, like, he's pouring into us. And it was just so much. It's been so much fun getting to know him and having him bounce ideas off me. He was a Wofford guy, so he played at Wofford.
Shout out to the FCS.
Yeah, shout out to the FCS.
Come on.
So he played at NDSU, coached there too, coached against them. So he has a ton of respect for that NDSU's program as well.
Yeah.
So he's always like asking me like culture questions and scheme questions and stuff like that. So it was really fun to like have a coach who is that curious as well.
Yep.
And I think the part that really separates like a good coach from a coach that's phenomenal is their level of taking accountability, because it allows you as a player to play free.
Yep.
Like, that's him. Like, he takes so much more accountability than he needs to, like, for stuff that I'll mess up, or like we as players are accountable for. But he'll take it on him to relieve the pressure from us.
Yep.
Which has been huge. So being able to have a guy like that to play for within my position group is phenomenal.
Dude, that's such a great point. Touching on like the humility piece, I got told from a mentor of mine in high school that it should always be the better player's fault. And I think that's a lesson for young people, but really everybody in general, of like, man, if something happens and you're a part of it, man, just wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I got to be better. That's on me. Let's go. Let's get the next one.
Yeah.
Even if it's not your fault. I remember in high school, I throw a dime, right? You throw a perfect pass, hit somebody in the hands, and they drop it, goes out of bounds. And I remember, hey, that's on me. I got to be better. He's like, what do you mean, man? I just straight up dropped it. It's like, could have been a little bit better pass. It's all good. Not on you. Make the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about that. Like, that's such a good life lesson. You want to lead people. You want people to follow you. Like, if you have the humility to just take it and wear it and just keep going forward, people will start following you.
For sure.
That's a great lesson from your coach.
And I think that's something that, like, as college football I've like played longer and longer, I've realized more and more. Like, in high school, I was nowhere close to that. Like, nowhere close. And at times, probably still not. But like in any probably setting where you have an opportunity to lead or even be a big part of something, like, the more you can take accountability for, it doesn't really make you look bad as much as it takes pressure off everyone else. Yeah, I think that's what we are all worried about, is looking bad.
Dude, it really switches it from like a fear component of like I'm afraid that I'm going to make a mistake to a love component of I want to make this guy right. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to make this guy proud. I think people follow out of one of those two categories of like, I don't want to mess up. There's this fear of failure, or it's this love of like, I want to give my best because I know he's giving me his best. And that's cool that you found that down at Tech, but you didn't just find it at Tech.
Right.
You had it at NDSU too.
Yeah, for sure.
And so let's rewind a little bit and let's talk about your time as a Bison, because as horns down as I might be, I realize that you're a horns up guy.
Yeah.
So tell me about your time at NDSU, man.
Yeah, I almost brought you an NDSU shirt. I saw on
that would have been a bad start.
I saw on some of your
man.
podcasts that you like wear some of the merchandise of the places you go. So I just thought it'd be fitting a little bit.
Well, the next time you get on the pod, I tell you what, next year, you guys got us this year, 15-10.
Yeah.
It was a great game. I was at it a few weeks ago. But next year, now that we're boys, there's going to be a little wager in place.
Well, we played back in Fargo, so the Alara Center's got a big boost to
both those
playing.
spots.
They both do, yeah. So I can make that bet pretty clearly with you. I don't be willing to
Clear
go down.
mind. You don't got to worry about it.
I don't be too worried about it.
All right, tell me about your time as a bison, man. How did it all start?
It was great. So first time ever on NDSU's campus was between my sophomore and junior year.
Okay,
I went to their camp.
Yeah.
Their camp is just like a prospect camp. I actually went to SDSU's the day before it. That was brutal. It was like a 8-hour camp, I think. And I hit the car, drove straight up, checked into NDSU's camp. It was like 7 pounds lighter than I was that morning. And I just get to that camp, and I start seeing some of these facilities. And at the Fargo Dome, hadn't ever seen anything like it. And I'm in line, and it's Coach Gazer. He saw my name. I was like, oh, like Wisniewski from Sparta, right? I was like, yeah. So he introduced me to Coach Hedberg.
Yeah.
And praise the Lord he did, because I would have done linebacker at that camp the whole time, and my body was hurting.
Yeah.
So, but he saw me playing quarterback my sophomore year, and he wanted me to go play quarterback at that camp. But I just had so much fun at that camp. I got to see the facilities, and I was just starstruck, because you walk in there, you see the national championship. You walk into the locker room in the basement down there, and you see. First thing you see is when you walk in the locker room, you see the national championships, and you look and you see 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, like 19. It was 18 at that time.
He's rubbing it in at this point.
But you see that, and you're just like,
though.
oh my goodness, like
this
is
winners.
different.
Yeah, right.
So that was my first ever time really seeing NDSU's campus. So I did that camp.
At quarterback.
Okay. Went back home, played my junior season, and at that point I didn't know, like, had a really good junior season, but small town Wisconsin, like our high school historically was really bad.
Yeah. Like
my middle school, like they won 1 or 2 games in 3-year span.
Yikes.
Like really bad. But we had a great junior year. And then I got my offer in March, like late March. Wasn't sure if I was going to get any offers. In February, I was like, maybe I need to start checking out some D2 schools. Like, didn't think it was going to happen. Got my first offer from SDSU. A week later, got my offer from NDSU. Committed to NDSU over a couple FBS schools, Wyoming, NIU, a couple of the academies. Then got to campus during COVID. So it was just a crazy time. Like season on, season off, season back on, season off. But it was incredible.
Yep.
It was incredible. Being able to go through, like, the practices were tough. I don't know if anyone really practices the same way as NDSU does, but being able to do something that's hard over and over and over again, and being able to, the main reason I went to NDSU is I knew the guys and the caliber of people there, and I wanted to be like that when I left. Like, I wanted to have that level of growth and be that kind of man when I left.
Yeah.
And I had, like, those guys pouring into me the entire time, like day in, day out. Guys like Jackson Hankey, James Kaiser, in my same room. And they just poured into me nonstop.
Yep.
Both, like, as a football player, but then also as a Christian. Like, growing, like, I didn't know up from down when I came onto campus, but, like, they were such good leaders that, like, my first time meeting them, like, James got my number. He invited me to Bible study. He told me what church he went to, and got me plugged in at a gospel preaching church. And I'd never, like, really been to one like that before, so it was completely different to me. And then it was just consistency through the same thing for 5 years, and it was a great time.
So 2 things I want to talk about on the NDSU front, and you've already brought it up. Number one, we're going to get into your faith journey a little bit, because it's obvious. The guy radiates. Like, seriously, from the time we walked in, we're coming across the street from Starbucks, and, like, literally just, like, beaming. Keely, I see it. I see what you see. But before we get into that, because that's going to be a whole discussion in itself, I want to talk a little bit about your time on the field as a Bison. And you played the spring season of 2020.
Yeah.
Do you remember when that guy in the wheelchair went out? UND game?
I was so caught up in what I had going on in my life that and that was a decent amount of time ago.
Yeah, so Wiz is 1-0 against me. I was not on the field, though. He didn't have to cover me. He's lucky. I went out for the coin flip, and I need you to throw this in there. But I'm 1-0 in coin flips. So that is the one thing that I've got on you. That's the only thing I've got on you.
That's fair.
We did get our butts kicked that day. And someday I'm going to get Cordell. I'm going to convince Cordell to come on the podcast. Cordell and I played in the Lions game together, and I thought we were cool. And then he came up after me, and he is Bison Pride. I don't know if there's anyone more than Cordell Bolson. And he shouted something at me. I'm not going to say it on the pod, but
I can only imagine.
Yeah, just let your imagination go on this. And Cordell, said something, and he walked away, and we haven't talked since. But someday I'm going to get Cordell on the pod.
He was wired a little differently.
It meant something.
When he's on the field?
Yeah, different person on the field.
Yeah.
So
wired different when he gets passes, even in practice. Wired different.
And that's the reason he's been so successful.
Oh, for sure.
But that is the one game that I remember that we interact. Were you redshirt that you played that spring season?
So I played. I would have been on special teams. I remember.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember from that game is I was on kickoff. I think I was on 3 teams, and I was on kickoff, and I had a huge hit on kickoff.
Let's go.
And my whole arm went numb. And I was trying to celebrate. My arm was just dangling.
Cutting your teeth in special teams.
Oh yeah, that's how you start though.
That's what young people don't understand, man. In college football, like that first year, you're just trying to find a way on the plane.
Yeah.
Like make the travel squad, and to make the travel squad, you got to be on kickoff return. Man, I spent 3 years on kickoff return, play side end. I left wing on field goal and extra points. I mean, backup shield on punt. Like, you just got to find ways onto the field, and eventually your spot comes.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for college football at the skill position specifically is, like, if you want to get on the field and you want to show that you can play against, like, college-level athletes, it starts on teams. Like, you go on teams and you make some plays,
100%.
and then, like, that can move you up the depth chart in college. You can literally go from a 3 to a 2 because they see that, oh, this kid can't be blocked on kickoff. This guy is tackling on punt. Like, punt is very hard to make tackles on a jittery guy back there in the open field. So if you can go and make a play, like, they can trust you to, like, you're going to play fast and you're going to get the ball down if we need you to go in on defense.
Absolutely.
So, like, that was huge, and I think NFL is probably the same way.
100%. I think of Adam Thielen, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember that. You remember that, or Anna, you remember that play? Let's see if we can get a picture of Adam Thielen blocking the punt at TCF Bank Stadium, like his rookie or maybe second year. But he cut his teeth in special teams. I did that. It sounds like Cole did that.
Oh, for sure.
And so you get through that freshman year of weird COVID season.
Yeah.
And then you get to 2021, 2022, 2023, you start finding some groove, a little bit of rhythm. And tell me about some of your favorite memories in those years.
Yeah, so James I was back up at the field outside linebacker position.
Okay.
And James was playing the boundary, the weak side, the will linebacker position. And so he actually got hurt in the last game of the regular season. So
what year is this?
Of the spring season.
Got it. Okay.
So my first 2 college starts happened as a true freshman in the playoffs. And first game I thought it went decent. Second game it was at Sam Houston, and I did not play good. But I started 2 games, like, hyped up going into my sophomore season. Thought I was going to get into the rotation quite a bit. And then first couple games happened. I'm still just kind of on package guys, special teams. James got banged up again, like week 3, and then I starting some games again going into that. And so really got into a rhythm playing a lot of football. Was very thankful to play a lot of football as a true sophomore.
Yep.
That season gets done. We win the national championship. So much fun. At that point, it was probably the best day of my life, winning the national championship, because you grind. The people don't probably realize that, but before you play a national championship game, you have like 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
And so you were grinding. There's no limits on, like, the amount of time you're at the facility and stuff. Right. So you're grinding, and people in North Dakota know December in North Dakota,
brutal. Not
a ton of sunlight.
Yep. Very
cold, and so you're just grinding nonstop that whole time. You get days off here and there, but, like, it's a grind against the same team, watching the same film over and over and over again.
Yep.
And so to do that and put in that much hard work and then to have it pay off is the best feeling you could ever have.
Yep.
So win the national championship game, I'm, like, high on life. Like,
let's throw a picture. Let's throw a picture of the Bison winning the national championship game.
There we go.
That's tough for me to do on my podcast, but
I'm happy to be a part of it.
Throw it up. Yep.
But really riding high on life at that point, and physically feeling great, but just played 25 football games in a row.
it's hard.
going from spring straight to
Right.
the next season. And that off season starts. We start our workouts again, and winter workouts, bam, tear my Achilles. So I'm down. Like I had the day before, our starting Sam had just transferred, so I was like, I'm in the rotation. Like let's go.
Yep.
Like this spot's mine pretty much at that point. And tear my Achilles, and I don't know what's next. So like that was for me. Like I wasn't sure. Like, am I ever gonna like play? Am I ever gonna see playing time again at that point?
Yep.
So like that was my first real test as a player.
Yep.
So that's a whole story in itself. Like overcoming that, and really like a lot of mental battles there. And Keely was a rock through that. Shout out Keely for that.
So let's pause right there.
Yeah.
On the timeline. So Keely had come into your life at that point.
So we had met literally within the first month of getting to college.
Yeah.
So we were in the same dorm. We met in the dining center. So I was
Come on.
I behind you in line?
That's romantic.
I was behind Keely in line at the
What
dining
dining center? What? Which one?
Was it West? No, it was the RDC. Yeah.
The one across.
Yeah,
Okay.
the RDC.
Dang.
Yeah, so we were in line. I was in line behind her.
You make a move on
No,
her?
she said like, "Hey, you live in Severnson, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're just creating small talk."
Yeah, right.
And I kept seeing her around. We kept like awkwardly saying hi. And then probably like 2 weeks later, I finally got her snap.
Okay.
And then probably 2 weeks later, she had snapped me first, asking if I wanted to hang out sometime.
Okay.
So
Shout
yeah,
out
it's
to
like,
Keely.
yeah,
Let's go.
Keely-
Made it happen.
Keely made the moves. and
Let's
it was-
go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So shout out Keely for that.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
this is
we had-
all the year.
So we had known each other for like 2 years at that point.
Got it.
We've been
Okay.
dating for 2 years. But yeah, I was kind of going through it a little bit at that point because like I'm a big like research. We were talking about this earlier. I look at research on everything.
Yeah.
Like so I had like looked at the research for like coming back from Achilles tears and how much people lose power. I knew the probability of making it to the NFL from FCS was already low.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the Achilles statistics and the guys who tear it, it's like a quarter of them.
Right.
It's like, nah, this isn't looking too great, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I just went in and handled what I could handle, I guess. Not knowing what the result was going to be at all. That off season, but I couldn't have been in a better mental space before it, because that weekend before I tore it, I was at Athlete Winter Retreat out in Cooperstown, North Dakota,
Oh my
where we had a
goodness.
weekend to just
You're talking my language
ground.
now. Small
And
town
then-
North Dakota.
just
Athletes retreat with a bunch of athletes from around
yeah,
the area.
exactly.
Right?
And
Yeah.
then that Wednesday before at FCA, we had read and I actually just went over this with our Bible study here. It was like 5 pieces of advice to young men. It was this little article that's on I think it's on Knowing God or Got Questions or one of the main sites. But Jeff Curtis had it for us. He's an FCA guy at NDSU. And like the final piece of it was like staying anchored through the storm.
Come on.
And that was like literally, so I read that at probably 7:30 p.m. And within 12 hours, I had tore my Achilles. And so, but when that happened, I couldn't have been more centered.
Yeah.
Like, I literally could not have been more anchored in like my identity at that point.
Your heart posture was not ready for that injury.
Right.
But as ready.
It was
you
as
could
ready as I could get for that point. And I think as an athlete, like that injury helped me. I knew mentally that like my identity wasn't in football. Like mentally, I knew that. But like all my hopes were still there. Like everything I wanted like was still there.
Yep.
So like that injury like really helped me take away from like it's gonna be okay. Like I'm still Cole. Like I'm still gonna be fine without it.
That's right.
And like no matter what happens, like that's what God wants for my life. And funnily enough, I had signed up for UTC, which Ultimate Training Camp.
Come on.
I signed up for that the weekend. I literally put the $100 down.
The week before.
Which and I was like $100. Like that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I can't come back. Like just I gotta go.
Yeah.
I
I put $100 down. I'm not gonna waste that $100.
Yeah. So I'd already committed. I tore my Achilles. I'm like, so I literally went to UTC, did all the workouts on the sideline,
Yeah. with
sucked.
with a torn Achilles.
I could walk at that point.
Okay.
It was pretty swollen, but I could walk at that point. But like going to that, it was like that was where I first understood being able to use whatever we do in life as a form of worship.
Yeah. Big W and little W, dude.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
So many people are searching for wins.
Yeah.
And I remember at UTC, we're both UTC grads. like they're talking like which W are you worried about, the win or the worship?
Right.
And I hear you on the worship
Yeah.
part. You can worship through
this right
what
here.
you're doing. Yeah.
Like even like our conversations, but like
Right.
being able to use like sport as a form of that, like knowing that like no matter what it was when I returned, because at that point I didn't know. Like it was summer, I'm still recovering. I still have months of rehab on the road. Like I literally just was able to walk, like the couple days before I left. I didn't know what the season was going to look like. I didn't know if that was going to be my last season, or like that my senior season would have been my last season, or not. Like I was ready to, if I have a great season, like sweet, I'll do this again. Like I have a shot. And if I don't, like, all right, what's next in life?
Yep.
And being able to like, really put that behind me and like whatever God has in store for me is what I'll pursue. And like that's what it was at that point. And I came back for the final 8 games of that season and played very average. Very average. Like I didn't have my explosiveness.
Yep.
I couldn't move the same way. I couldn't jump. I was really strong upper body because all I did was lift upper body for a long time.
Which is some people's dream, by the way.
Yeah.
But
No
not
kidding.
as a safety.
Yeah. Well, I was playing linebacker at the time,
Okay.
so I didn't have like the lateral movement that I needed.
Sure.
To play. And so at that point, still like I wasn't sure. That season gets done, and we have conversations like, "Hey Cole, like we might need you to move to safety."
Sure.
And like just because like we had young guys in the room, we didn't have very many guys who had playing experience in the room. Both our starters graduated. The third string guy transferred out, and so like we might need you in that room. And it's like, okay, like I'm willing to do it. Like I think I could probably, like I know I could play this. I don't know like how great I'll be.
Yeah.
Like I'm coming off of the season of not even playing
Very
like
good football.
that great ball.
Right.
Like I got to start in that national championship game, but I wasn't playing at a level that I didn't think was great. So really going into that my 2023 season, like my mindset was I'm gonna give everything I have, in all of my like in my training, in my prep, learning this stuff. I'm gonna do everything I can to be the best player I can be. But like if I'm a rotational guy, like this is 4 years of playing college football, like torn Achilles, like it just might be what it is. But I'm gonna do everything I can to be the best player I can be. Spring ball rolls around, like it's going okay. Like learning, doing something's good, something's bad. Towards the end of spring ball, like I'm having the most fun playing football I'd had in college. So like that was fun. And then summer training, feeling pretty good. And then I go and start fall camp up. And so Keely and I got engaged in that spring, like right before I started before that spring ball. And so we were getting married in that fall. And that fall camp starts up, and first week of fall camp, and I'm just not doing good in football. Like I am like, dang, like this really is it. Like this is my last year because like I'm not playing that good.
Yep.
I'm not doing that good. Like I broke down. Like I remember crying. And, like Keely was there like supporting me. Like she had came over. I hadn't seen her like a week because of camp, and like I like broke down. Like man, this is it for me. Like this is my last year. Like I'm gonna do everything I can. Like I love this, but not doing what I need to do.
Yep.
But I came back, like still like did everything I could. And then that back half of fall camp, next 7 practices was lights out, like just bawling. Just playing, just bawling.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just learning it, just the hard time, like just kind of get over that groove of that hard time of camp.
Yep.
And it just clicked, and I just started bawling. But like even like at that middle point of camp, I was like, man, I'm gonna be like a rotational piece. I don't even know if I'm gonna start. Like this is very average. And we go out, started having really good practices, and we go out to the first game against Eastern Washington at the bank.
The bank, that's right.
And like first half, I have like 9 tackles.
Jeez.
Dropped a pick right before half. Got my first college interception.
Yep.
And so I finished that first game like just balled out, like the best college game I ever played, like not even close. And then that whole season, like played some of the best football I played the best football I ever played in my life.
Yep.
That whole season. And so that's just like God's.
Cole's not going to tell you this, but we need to throw up his accomplishments from the 23 season. First team All-Conference, first team All-American. He was on every All-American list as a first teamer. So he's saying he's played the best ball. Yeah, he was the best player in the FCS defensively. So you had an amazing season.
Mm-hmm.
But before we jump into what happened at the end of that season going into 24, I want to talk about what you'd said after your torn Achilles and like your heart posture was right and you handled the torn Achilles with a lot of grace and you speak about it really gracefully, but that didn't just happen. Like your heart posture just didn't get that way from nothing. And you talked about the people pouring into you and some of these names that I'm familiar with, like Jeff Curtis. Like I know Jeff, unbelievable, and Kaiser, and is it Kaiser or
Kaiser?
Kaiser, yeah. Kaiser and Shep and all these people. Like, tell me about those years leading up to your injury, post-injury, and then now you found success. But like, tell me about the mental side, about how you were able to get through some of those years when you're breaking down to your wife, wow, this might be it. Like, what were you built on, and how did you build it?
Right. So I think the biggest thing, having the guys who were bold in their leadership, like, hey Cole, like we have FCA this night, we have Bible study this night. This is the church we go to. Like, you should come to it. And having those guys like pour into me and like be bold enough to like, hey, like this is really important. Like, you should be a part of this. And then unashamed, like, preach truth as well. Going to the Bible studies and be like, and I was like, hey, I don't know if I really believe that. And they're like, well, this is what the word says. Like, do this is the word of God. It's like, well, yeah. It's like, okay, well, this is what it says.
Right.
So, good point.
Okay.
And so really, I think what the biggest thing was just consistency and making it an important thing, like making it not allowing myself to miss it. Like going to FCA on Wednesday night, going to Bible study on Thursday night, and then going to church on Sunday. Like that in my freshman and sophomore year helped me grow so much, so much knowledge. And I'm still not great like memorizing scripture, like memorizing stuff and repeating it back out has never been like my strong suit. I have to really struggle with that. But having like the recall of like, okay, I know like this is what it says. Like I could go back and find it with a quick Google search. Like can figure it, but I could have that base of knowledge because of all that time. And the off seasons were like tough for me because we didn't have the same Bible studies. We didn't have FCA.
Yeah.
And so then later in college, getting into community groups within our church was a huge. Like that might have been after the torn Achilles, I think. You remember? Yeah, after the torn Achilles, but that was with the other ankle injury, and being able to have a group of community that wasn't just my age, but people in all walks of life. Like somebody who has had kids for 5 years and has 3 kids, somebody who's just now having kids, somebody who has had kids that are out of the house now, and having them all in the same room studying the Bible together, and then going through life together too. And that's just so much insight. And like the football side of it, like when you're in football, like this is literally how life feels sometimes. Like you have the people in your facility, you have everything in around you, you have all like that. But then being able to open up the blinders and seeing like, oh, there's a whole world around it. And like football is just a small piece of this actual thing.
Dude, I hope people are picking up on the wisdom that Cole is dropping, because that right there, if you take anything from our conversation today, like that right there could be the thing of not even when you're in the struggle, even before the struggle, like surround yourself with good people that are pouring into you, whether it be, you know, like you said, a construction worker that has 2 kids, whether it be somebody that's already graduated, that's married, that doesn't have any kids, whether it be just a single 20-year-old that, man, is strong in the word, whatever it is. Like, you don't have to be doing the same thing as a person, doing the same profession as a person, be going through the same struggle as a person to get poured into and to learn from that person and to build community with that person. You talk about the boldness of some of those guys, though, to get you there. But then the courage and the discipline to be consistent in it, that's on you. And that's really cool, that the consistency, you talked about, like, man, just showing up.
Yeah.
And
but they told me too, like, hey, like, I think it was James, like, hey, make this a priority. Yeah. It's like James had just became a Christian, like, I think that 2019. So like, I talked about the retreat out in Cooperstown. He went to that the year before, and they had challenged them to, I think, read the Bible in 100 days or something, and that's what had helped him. Sure. And that's like set his life on fire for the Lord. And it's like that was literally months after he had just became a Christian. But that was how bold he was. Like, he was like, hey, dude, you need to make this priority in your life. Like this needs it needs to be priority to go to this, this, and this. And I was like, that makes sense. Like if I'm really trying to like fight some of these struggles that I'm fighting against, especially at that time in life, like, and I need to mature. Like that's what I need to do.
Yeah. It's amazing hearing you say some of this stuff, because I think people ask all the time, like, oh, how do you get that mindset to persevere? It's like, it doesn't just happen in the moment. Like it comes from the right things pouring into yourself, right? Through the word, but also the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Like go to the root, even if you can't memorize it, like opening the word, it opens your eyes to the divine. And I think it's in Joshua. I can't even remember the verse, but it talks about that. Like the word opens your eyes. Like think right now, Cole, if like we could look and we could see the angels, right? Like that's an amazing thought,
right?
But the word does that, and you start seeing the goodness of God in the everyday, and even through the struggle, man, you're probably able to see some of the goodness and what He was doing.
Oh, no doubt. Especially looking back, you see it way more clearly than
hindsight.
Like in the moment, like you don't realize, but when you look back, like it clicks.
Absolutely. Now let's jump forward, because you tore your Achilles, but then you have the second accident. There are tons of people that can relate with this, with physical setbacks of like, man, I've put so much work into this thing. I just had the best season of my career, and then this happens, and you ask the question, why? Did that happen for you?
I don't actually know if I really like. I mean, I'm sure there was one day I was feeling down on myself, and I did, but like at that point, like it just I was doing everything I could to like try to make it work.
Yeah.
Day in, day out. Like I'd finished that 23 season. I wasn't sure if I was gonna leave or come back, or like what I was gonna do, or if I was gonna declare, or what was the next option. But I was like, you know what? Like I think I can still develop as a safety. I think I have like more to give. So I decided to come back, and I was going through that season, and I was doing the winter workouts. Like I had never been more disciplined in my life, because I knew I had 12 months. I had 12 months to play the best football I could be. And like my goal was I wanted to be a 3rd round draft pick in this last draft. So I'm doing everything I can, like literally everything I can. I was there probably an hour and a half early for lifts. I was like foam rolling. I was reading these books about like Tom Brady's like pliability stuff. I was doing everything. I was watching like tons of film on like NFL guys.
Keely, what was it like being married to him at this time?
It's still the same as what it is right now.
Nothing's changed.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. A lot of football, which is just what I'm used to, I guess.
Yeah.
Or just the norm.
Yeah, you knew what you were getting into.
Probably not quite.
Not quite.
Yeah. But like I was literally like doing everything. Like the way I was eating, like I was eating to like a T. Like I was putting in great food in my body. Like we were having like literally could not have been doing anything like better. Like and I felt like I was in great shape. I was doing all the winter workouts. I was really strong, moving well. And I just kept having this ache in my ankle. I was like, what is going on? Like this should have been fine by now. I was doing rehab on it, getting it strong. I was like, this should not be an issue by now. And I just kept going. I did all the runs, did everything. And it just like progressively got worse and worse. And I was like, what in the world's going on? And I mean, I just kept going through it. Like it didn't matter. Like I was going to play with it. Like I've played through worse. Like it wasn't going to be an issue. And I got to a point where I took my dog on a walk one day out in the woods, and we were walking, and it was in any uneven ground. Like I'd literally bought different shoes at this point because like it was hurting so bad, to cushion. And I was taking my dog on a walk in the woods, and I couldn't walk on anything uneven. Like anything that were my foot turned to the side, I was like, I couldn't walk. Like I literally like hobbled. Like I think I jumped out of the woods because I was in so much pain. My dog, we were all muddy. It was spring. It was like late March in Fargo, I think, and it was like all muddy. Yeah. And I was like, the dog was all muddy. I was trying to clean her up before getting into the car. It was a mess, but like I got back, I was like, hey, I need to get this checked out. Yep. And I did the first day of spring ball. And it was like I played good because I'd put in so much time. Like I was doing okay, but I couldn't stop. Like I could get going in speeds, but I couldn't like decel because there was so much pain. Sure. And I was on a decent amount of drugs that day to get through it, and I still couldn't tolerate it. And so I got the imaging done, and I was like, oh, sure enough, like, say, hey, there's a hole in your ankle. It's like, what? I was like, yeah, there's a hole in the cartilage in your ankle. I was like, you should probably get this fixed. Like, you can get this fixed. You can be back by camp. Like, all right, like, let's do it. Let's get this fixed. Like, I've played a lot of ball. Like, spring ball is important, but I don't need it.
Right.
So I had that surgery done. Was coming back from it, and it still hurt. I was like getting back, like everything's tightened up in your ankle, like you'll probably be fine. I was like, but I kept doing everything, like tried to do everything right, kept doing everything right, and just kept not healing.
Yeah.
Kept not healing. And then like finally I got it like checked out again. They're like, okay, well, the first surgery, like the outside, the ligament part looks great. The hole in your ankle's still there.
What the heck?
Yeah, well, and then it was just like they knew it was a lower likelihood of succeeding, but the second surgery, like if the second surgery failed, like I was done.
That was it.
Like that's
Right.
my career. So like, that's why they did it the way they did it, because you didn't want to have to go through the first one first.
Right.
You don't want to have to go through the second one first and have it fail and be like, oh, we should have done the other one first.
Right,
Like
right,
give you
right.
hope. And so yeah, I was like so I find out I'm going out to media. I'm going out to media, like I'm expecting to be able to come back to play. Like everything's gonna be fine in a couple weeks, I'm hoping, because of the timeline they gave me. And I get out there and I open my phone and I get an email from the MRI from the doctor like, hey Cole, we found we looked at the MRI. Looks like the hole's still there. It's like, your option is try to deal with it, or get the surgery and you're gonna be done for the season. So I get that, and
You're going to talk to
as I'm
media.
going out to media,
It's the worst.
I look at my sheet. I have 10 interviews to do. Like, you've got to be kidding me. So I'm there just as complimentary as I can to the team. The media knew I wasn't practicing because of my ankle.
Yep.
So I was like, it's like, yeah, I'm probably like 98% right now. It's like, which is true. Like 98% of my body was great. It's like the 2%. That 2% was really holding me back. Like,
Yeah.
but I think I said I was probably like 90%, and they were just trying to get the last 10%. And like that 10%, I couldn't walk. Like I would run, and my ankle would swell up to the size of a softball, probably even a little bit bigger. Like get it down, swell up again. But yeah, so then I go through that, and it's just like, man, is this it for me again? Like I was so close. Like to making it. Like I just came back from that Achilles, had a great season, worked that hard. I was so close to making it, and now am I done? But it's like the same thing. Like, you know, whatever's next is what's next. Like if it's not football, like we'll be fine. Like we'll be fine working 9 to 5s and living normal life outside of football. Like that was our dream, and I was so close to fulfilling my dream. And I probably had another breakdown in there somewhere, because I was so close. Like that 23 season was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing so good, and I knew I had that much more to give. I knew I could get that much better.
Yep.
And I knew I could, like, achieve that. But then this happens. I'm like, dang, is this it? Is this it again? So that was tough. But, like, through community group, like, so Anna and Garrett, we were in the same community group in Fargo. How long were you guys there? Were there a couple, half a year, 6 months? That's what I thought. But, yeah, were you guys there when I had that second surgery? Like, what time were you guys there?
Put you on the spot, Anna.
Do you guys remember?
I think it
I don't think it
changed.
was when you had it.
I don't think so.
Not yet. So it's probably not like the earlier part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that second one happens, and I'm like, well, like, you know, like God's been, and it goes back to like Old Testament. Like God's been faithful to his people before.
Come on.
Like we read that. Like God,
my
like,
goodness.
like that's what I was reading
Start
at that
preaching,
time.
Cole.
Like, that's what I was reading at that time was like, God brought his people out of Egypt. And that's what he
Yeah.
kept pointing back. He was like, hey, I've been faithful to you before, I'll be faithful again. And
It's
like
the same
that's
God.
so I was reading Old
Yeah.
Testament, and it gets so long. I've been in the Old Testament for a minute now because I'm like I read all New Testament out Old Testament, but that's what it is over and over again, over and over and over and over again in the Old Testament. It's like God saves his people fail. He saves his people again, his people fail.
Yeah.
And it's just the same thing over and
It's
over
so true.
and over again. And for me, like, God had already been faithful through my Achilles, you know? Like, he had already brought me through that. It was like, so, like, whether he's faithful in this and brings me back to football, or whether he's faithful in this and I work in a job. And I've met some awesome people in that time when I was out, like some friends that I'll have for life that I didn't know in Fargo at that time,
Yep.
but I met because I couldn't do some stuff. So like I met them outside because my focus was a little bit different because I was in rehab mode. And so like his faithfulness in that time, like I knew like whether it was going to be football or not, like I was going to be all right.
Yep.
So like that was that whole 2024 for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a whirlwind of emotions through the whole year. But yeah, it was crazy.
It sounds like there's some peace in the storm. Like you talked about even before your Achilles injury, like you read that verse about being anchored in the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seemed like there's some peace in the storm of like, you know what, I don't know what's up next, but I think I'm gonna be all right. And you didn't know back then, but it's led you to where you are now.
Right.
And as you look back over the past year and a half, what are the emotions that you're filled with?
There's a lot. So like, I think it's like leaving NDSU was literally the hardest thing I ever did in my life.
Yep.
So like that was like there's so much emotions in that. But change, like that was the one thing for me that like I like realized through it too. Like change in not all change, but the change that I've gone through, like when I've intentionally made a change to challenge myself, has led to the most growth. I think back to like 7th grade, I was wrestling for like the Sparta, like our high school, our just city wrestling program, and I had in 7th grade I joined the lacrosse area wrestling, which is like a big club, like elite club, like one of the best probably at that time, definitely like a top 2 in the state, which is Wisconsin's elite wrestling. And so going to those practices were hard, like hard, brutal. My first one I could barely walk when I got done. Like I literally was drained. And so doing that, like I became such a better wrestler. Moving to safety, I became such a better football player because it challenged me. Becoming a husband, like I had to change so much.
Better man. Because
I had to do so much different and grow as a husband and become more selfless in our relationship for each other. So like I knew like that change was gonna grow. And no matter what happened down here, like if I came down to Tech or wherever I was transferring to, and I didn't start, like I got buried on the depth chart, it meant I wasn't going to play in the NFL. Like you're not going to go to a college and not play if you're going to be an NFL player. And so I knew coming to Tech, like, hey, it's going to be pretty clear, like whether I will or will not. And still, I could still go and not make it, but I had this opportunity to come and compete and really like prove it to myself that I can compete with anyone.
But even if you don't find the success you were searching for,
right?
Like it seems like you're at peace with that. Like
and it would. Don't get me wrong. Like it would suck.
Yeah, right.
Like it would suck.
There's no
Like don't get me wrong. Like, I've had like
3
dreams where like I go undrafted. Like that's
Come
not
on.
a fan.
Those are called nightmares.
Yeah. Nightmares. Like it would still suck, but like it'll still be fine. You know, like
God's
the
plan.
like Lord will provide something, and I have like so many great and faithful people around me that like you know that's a truth.
Dude,
even at times, like there's times where like I don't like there's like I'm a planner. Like don't get me wrong, I am a planner. So when I don't have a plan, like it gets a little sketchy. Like I'm a long-term plan, like not a short-term plan, not a good week-to-week guy. Like I like having like a long-term plan of like where I want to be. So like in this phase of life specifically, like it's almost December, and that means that I have very little time of my college career left. So that means that there's a lot of uncertainty coming up.
Absolutely.
And I promise you, there's times when I'm like, a lot of times I'm like, oh well, a lot of things could not go as planned. But like, clearly that's been my life so far anyway. So,
his plan is usually better than ours.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, life verse probably for me, Proverbs 16:9. Heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. That's true in my life. It's true in your life. True in the Bickett's life. True in your life, Keeley. Like, man, we can look at all of our lives and think we've got this great thing planned out, but in the end, the Lord's establishing our steps. He's done it for you, man. It's pretty obvious. Man, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We could talk about Tech football and talk about what kind of scheme you guys are in. I'd love to have that conversation. We're gonna do that over lunch.
Yeah, we can do that over brunch.
Yeah. But man, I want to wrap this up. We got people that struggle, and maybe it's not an ankle injury, maybe it's not a spinal cord injury, but they're struggling with something. And man, if you could give them just one nugget of encouragement, advice, whatever that might be, what would you tell somebody that's in the storm right now? Of like, man, I don't know if I can keep going. What would you tell them?
That's a really good question. And it's gonna sound so corny, but like, I think at times when I was so caught up in all the stuff that like I couldn't control, and all the stuff that like I wish I would be able to control, is like looking for the things that I do have an impact over that. I do have control over. And then letting everything else, like, let God handle everything else, you know? So like, just like, what can you do today that will have a positive impact? And I think that's true in everything in life. Like for schoolwork, like, oh, I've got all these assignments to do. Well, what can I do about it?
Yeah. Do something.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, I have got
Control,
this argument. Like, oh, what can I do about it?
Yeah.
But there's things that are way bigger than that and way more struggles than anything I've ever gone through.
Yep.
But just focus on like the things that you actually can control.
That's big time.
Yeah.
Last question I got for you, then we'll wrap this thing up with something good. But man, the question I ask every single one that comes and sits down with me is overcomers. I think the recipe is relatively the same. What you put into overcoming, I think a lot of the ingredients are the same. But what is it to you? You know, I want you to think that you're making the dish of overcoming. You're putting in the recipes. You got a little bit of peace. You got a little bit of perseverance. All these things, and you create this finished dish that is overcoming. What is overcomer? What is an overcomer to you, man?
That is such a difficult question.
It's a tough one.
I feel like you should have texted me that like 2 weeks ago.
I'm giving you this thing. Cole is. We didn't prep for this at all.
No.
This is as raw as it comes.
No kidding.
But what is an overcomer, man?
I think it's someone who like has the big picture in mind. Someone who can zoom out of like like I said, like the blinders earlier that I was talking about. Like someone who can, instead of just like zooming in on like one thing, like take the whole picture and realize that whatever's impacting them, like it's momentary, it's short, and it's not going to have a bearing on the length of time, on what, especially if you're a Christian listening to this, like there's so much more than just the here and now and just what we can see. Like we're told that this is a shadow. So like if you're a Christian watching this, like that's what I would tell you. Like that's what I would claim it as, like understanding that we're in the shadow. Like we're always in the shadow on this earth. Like no matter how good, how bad, like as a Christian, like that's what it would be. But as somebody else, like still, like this is just a small part of the whole story of your life. So like that's, I think having that being able to zoom out, it's someone who can zoom out and understand that the big picture is much more than the here and now.
The sun's gonna rise tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Be able to see big picture of land. This is a small thing. That's a nugget. That's a nugget. Put that on a quote, Anna. That's so good, man. Be able to zoom out and realize, man, this is one thing. You get through this thing, there's something laying ahead of you.
I don't want to be clear too, like this is stuff that I need to remind myself, like quite a bit mentally, and I should probably help Keely out too more than I do with like the same stuff, because like this is like it's struggles and overcoming stuff is hard, and it's real, and it's so much realer than sports. Like it's so much real. Like having to have, like I think of like my mom, for example, like when we were kids, like it was her and me and my brother, and she was finding a way to overcome, like trying to figure out how the heck is she gonna put two and two together to get food on the table for us. Like, but she did it over and over again. Like she put the meals together. She had dinner set for us, but overcoming that, like understanding, like it's not gonna be like that forever. Like eventually it was gonna be easier for her. But like that's like the people who like are really like that's hard. Like this is just football.
That's so
you know what I mean? Like
come on.
That's real.
I forget who had a quote like that. I was like, dude, we get to play football. Like we get to travel and go and talk with people.
But still, like I struggle with it for football. So like they're like, if people are like struggling with it for life, that's way bigger. So like I'm like, I don't know. I struggle with the big picture too. Like overcoming some of these things is cool and it's fun to talk about. Hopefully inspires some people like you talk about. But in reality, like life is like, it's just sports is just like a small analogy for life, I think, for some of this stuff. So hopefully it can help some people out.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, we end every single podcast with something called Tell Me Something Good. And it's like eating dessert. with a meal. We just got a lot of meat and potatoes. That is an upper Midwest talk that we just had. That's steak, baked potato, loaded up, sour cream, butter, put a little bacon on top. That's really good stuff. I appreciate the vulnerability, the wisdom that you shared. But let's end this thing with something sweet. So I'm going to give you guys some time because, like I said, I didn't give them any prep.
Keely didn't even know she was going to be a part of this until this morning.
I said, Keely, hop in. Let's get Anna. You want to start first, G? Okay, G, tell me something good. It can be literally anything. Cool, Keely, like it could be something you ate this morning. It could be something from last night. It could be your sweater that you're wearing, Keely, which I think is something good. It is awesome, festive. But it can be, just tell me something good, something sweet. G, start it off.
Long-time New England Patriot, best slot receiver in the NFL ever, Wes Welker.
Wes Welker, a Texas Tech alum that we learned.
This is the guy you hyped up to me,
dude, Wes was. Anna, can we just throw in some like Wes Welker highlight, please? So shifty. He won one with. Did he win one with Brady and then one with Peyton?
We should have looked at the Lombardis down there.
Yeah, we should. We'll have to.
Did you get the Lombardis on the camera?
On some B-roll, yeah. But no, for real though, like Welker was so good. That Patriots team with Moss and Welker that lost to Eli Manning and those Giants, but wow, that is something good. Shout out to Wes.
We're going to have to get a picture of Garrett and Wes Welker down there.
That's your guy.
This is my first NFL jersey.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, this is Ring of Honor picture of him right over here.
Yeah, we'll go get one. We're going to go take a picture. Let's flash it right there. Let's flash that picture of Garrett and Wes. Love it. All right, Anna, tell me something good.
Okay, my something good is Uber drivers.
Yeah.
If you travel with Hunter, you know that he will talk to anybody. And it will be meaningful. It's not these superficial conversations like, hey, how are you? It's like, so tell me about your story, you know, right off the get-go. And both Uber drivers we've had have been so great, so sweet. They both had a Southern accent that was just charming. And I don't know.
With that West Texas accent.
Yes, they do.
So I guess.
History lesson, yes?
Yeah, right. They've just been so great. And I would say good Uber drivers, but also that Southern accent is my something good.
Oh, the woman at the hotel.
So
too.
awesome, y'all.
How y'all doing? Like, very good.
Keely and I have definitely added y'all to our vocabulary.
When you start hitting the all y'alls, you really know that you're down south. All y'all are gonna be.
Or like our coaches are like from like the Oklahoma, like southern Oklahoma, North Texas area over there, and so it's I'm fixing to. Yeah. We're fixing to go to Snooze for lunch. Like that's like, I've actually said that a couple times. I was like,
fixing.
Oh wow.
Love having an effect on you, brother.
Less opes and more y'alls, I guess.
That's right.
Recent.
That's right.
That's gonna be a cool.
That's good. Less opes and more y'alls. Love it. All right, Keely, you got something good for me?
I'm gonna steal yours. Something good is my sweater because it finally. Sweater weather.
It was 90 degrees last Saturday. So.
And now today it's like 40s.
Sweater weather. Sun
is shining, but it's 40 degrees. It feels like home.
The mountains of Lubbock.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Wiz, you got something? Tell me something.
This we were talking about it earlier, but I'll probably make another one just because it's off day and I can. Had a really good latte this morning.
Come on.
Yeah, we have a
big coffee guy.
Espresso machine.
Oh, jeez. Spell it out for the people on the pod. It's espresso. I've been proven wrong now multiple times. Tell me about your coffee, man.
But yeah, I mean, just smooth art today. Brown sugar, cinnamon.
Love it.
If you guys are latte makers at home, I started using like brown sugar instead of the syrups.
Yep.
Because it's way less sugar. So
yeah,
you can like third your sugar if you just use a little bit of brown sugar instead. Still get the taste and then a little cinnamon on top.
We should do a sub like pod off of this pod about like random research with Garrett and Cole. Because Garrett, I literally feel like I'm talking to Garrett right now. Be like, dude, you can cut down your sugar by a third if you just use regular brown sugar. Did you read that research report that came out?
I just looked at the nutrition labels.
Yeah.
So.
But dude, that's awesome. Brown sugar.
Yeah,
you know what else?
Really
Brown
good.
Sugar. I'm gonna have two something goods here. My second thing on the topic of brown sugar is I don't really like syrup on like waffles and pancakes, but somebody when I was in elementary put me on brown sugar and cream makes caramel. That is the basis of caramel. So you go brown sugar, spread a thin layer. Maybe we might need to do this at snooze after. Brown sugar, and then pour some like half and half, and create like a little caramel sauce. Unbelievable.
That sounds great.
And I need you to throw a picture of homemade caramel on top of some pancakes. Bang, right there. Just give it a try if you don't like syrup. So that is something good off of Cole's brown sugar. And the second thing, this might be cliche, but Cole isn't going to talk about it. He's killing it this year. Like, you hear about this struggle, the adversity that he's been through, and then he comes down here to Tech to prove it to himself. And the guy's got his team number 5 in the country, I think.
Yeah.
Chance to win first Big 12 championship, chance at the college football playoff. Some of these goals that you set early on, and you're in the run, like you're chasing it. And whether you get there or not, it's not even the point. It's that you decided to take some courage and come and chase it.
Right.
And I respect you for that.
Appreciate it.
And so that's my something good. We're cheering for the Red Raiders the rest of the way. Gary, you're holding up a coin. What do you want?
We are going to give Cole a chance to go 1-1 against.
Oh my gosh.
So actually,
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna let this happen right here. See
Yeah.
if he can go 2-0. I'll put the pressure on.
You know me.
Put the pressure on.
All right, I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna slap.
Yep.
Okay, I'll catch
Rules-
and slap.
Glad you clarified before.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Let's see it.
I'll call it in the air. Call it in the air. Tails.
Been called in there. There we go, 1-1.
Golly, that's a tough way to end the pod, but that's how we're gonna do it, man. Cole, hey, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
this is
you.
awesome.
This was great.
This is sweet, man. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, throw a follow. If you haven't followed Texas Tech, man, give them a watch. Watch for number 5 out there flying around, and see if we can go get some championships.
Let's do it.
All right, man. This is Sit Down. We'll see you guys next time.